Hello, English for my papers. I use MLA formatting for my essays, although I do skip the title page. Also, I have a little bit in here about works cited pages, but if you're watching this in a literature class, this should just be a review from English 102. If you're in English 101, we'll go over it in class or online, whatever you might do. If you're in 102, you should have had MLA instruction in your 101 class, but if you didn't, let me know and I'd be happy to help. So let me go ahead and do a screen share, and I've got a short PowerPoint. It's only 10 slides to go over MLA formatting guides. Let me go ahead and do from the beginning. There we go. All right, so MLA formatting for my English and literature courses. Okay, first and foremost, paper font. You need to make sure you're using the correct font for your papers. That would be Times New Roman 12-point font. The default font in Word is what you see here, Calibri 11. You need to switch it, everything in your paper to Times New Roman 12-point font, which is what you see right here on this top arrow. This is the default font. We need to change from that. Okay, paper margins. The default margins are going to be 1 inch on the top and bottom and 1 1/4 on the sides. You can do either that or 1 inch all the way around. It doesn't matter to me because on all my papers I do word count as opposed to page length. All right, so first page of your paper, stuff that you need to pay attention to, and this is reviewed on the syllabus as well. In the upper left corner of the first page and just the first page, you need your name, the instructor name, the class, and the date. Okay, your name, instructor name, class, and the date. This is in the upper left corner of just the first page. So this is what it looks like, and you can see here, student's name, Jane Doe, instructor, class, and I didn't put a date there, but you can put the date that you're turning in your paper. So that's what it's going to look like for the upper left-hand corner. So let's now talk about the upper right-hand corner. Talking about the title in the upper right-hand corner. For the title, it needs to be in the same font, size, and type as the rest of the paper. So Times New Roman 12-point font. These are the things you should not do with the title. It should look like the rest of the paper. So no quotes on the title unless you're quoting a story or poem or one-act play. No bold, no underline, and no extra spaces between the name stuff that I just talked about in the upper left-hand corner and the title, or between the title and the start of the paper. Also, you need to have the proper page number. The author's last name and page number should be in the upper right corner of every page, not just the first page. And I've given you instructions here on Microsoft Word on how to access that. You click on Insert, go to Page Numbers. You select the page number that you see. There'll be a drop-down menu that has, excuse me, I should retype that, in the upper right, not the upper left. I'm going to fix that right now. Upper right. Oops, let's go back one. In the upper right, type your last name next to it, highlight the name and number, go to the home button, change the highlighted text to Times New Roman 12-point font. And when you're done with that, this is what it's going to look like. See, Times New Roman 12-point font here, last name and page number in the upper right. And this is going to be on every page. Notice how the title, Times New Roman 12-point font, no extra space between the title and the start of the paper, or the date and the start of the paper, or excuse me, between the date and the title. So this is what your paper is going to look like when you type it for any of my classes. Okay, and another note that I have on the syllabus, so I thought I'd include in here, make sure that you're eliminating the second person from formal writing. This is the most common mistake I see in papers. The exception, of course, is within quoted material. So if you are quoting a story, or you're quoting a source, or you're quoting a play or a poem, whatever, if that source uses the second person, you're more than welcome to have that in your paper. But there are severe grade reductions. So in English 101 and 102, those are composition classes. On your grammar and mechanics grade, you get no higher than a C on the first, second no higher than a D, and then on the remaining papers no higher than a 59%. And that's just your grammar and mechanics grade, but still, if you get a failing grade on that section, it's a full letter grade off your paper. Now, for literature classes, since these are sophomore level classes, you should be avoiding this anyway. So you wouldn't get higher than a 60% on the grammar and mechanics grade if you have the second person. So do take note of that as you're writing your essays. Okay, here's a sample works cited page. Some of the things I want to point out. Times New Roman 12-point font, just like the rest of the paper. The title is centered. The works cited page is in alphabetical order by what the citation starts with. Notice how the article "and" does not count towards that alphabetizing. It starts with I, so this is G, then I, then L. And if you want to take a look at this for yourself and some of the rules, I've provided the source for this works cited page right here. It won't let me highlight it, but this is where you would go so you can copy and paste that if you need to. If you need help with the works cited page, please let me know. I have plenty of resources to give you. For an annotated MLA paper, now this has more discussion and tips than just what I pointed out here, both on formatting the pages, but also formatting the works cited page. So this is the first resource I'm giving you to help you with your works cited page. But if you're reading this online, I will provide the hard copy of this file, so you can just copy and paste this at the online writing lab at Purdue University. They have a wonderful sample MLA paper to help you with formatting. And that's it for my PowerPoint, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen share. If you have any questions about formatting, always please let me know. I'd be happy to answer your questions. And you might want to fool around with the online writing lab at Purdue for almost any issue you're going to have with an English paper. They have lots of helpful tips and forms to help you out with stuff. So let me know if you need help, and I hope this was a useful PowerPoint.